India's silent plan to destroy Pakistan. Ghazwa-e-Hind rising. As-Salamu Alaikum. Dear viewers, what if I told you that the next war won't be started by bullets, but by something as simple as water? What if I told you that Pakistan's survival is already under attack and the world isn't even watching? Today's story is not just about politics. This is a prophecy unfolding. Silent war that could soon erupt into Ghazwa-e-Hind. The Indus Waters Treaty in 1960. With the World Bank as witness, India and Pakistan signed a treaty. The Indus Waters Treaty, one of the few peaceful agreements between the two nations. India would control the eastern rivers, Ravi, Beas, and Sutlej. Pakistan would receive the western rivers, Indus, Jhelum, and Chenab. It was fair, it was balanced, and it worked for a while. But now, India is quietly, systematically violating the treaty. Massive dams like Baghlahar, Kishangonga, Ratal, and more than 40 additional hydroelectric projects are being built. India calls them run-of-the-river harmless, they say, but these dams can store water, divert flow, control life. They have the power to turn Pakistan's rivers into weapons. Pakistan's lifeline under threat. Pakistan isn't just thirsty, it's dependent. Its agriculture, food security, economy, and power all flow from these rivers. Block the water and crops wither, famine spreads, electricity collapses, livelihoods vanish. This isn't just conflict, this is hydroterrorism. India doesn't need missiles. They can drive Pakistan to its knees, slowly, silently. The breaking point of war for water. There's a limit to patience, a limit to diplomacy, and Pakistan is being cornered. When survival is threatened, nations don't negotiate, they react. And perhaps this is what the prophecy meant. Ghazwa-e-Hind, the final, destined war, where forces of oppression from Hind are met by the armies of Islam. Black flags rising from the east, marching with divine destiny. Could this water war be the spark? The Dark Alliance, India, Israel and the US against the Muslim world. But this isn't just India acting alone. Behind the curtain stands a triangle of power. India executing the plan, Israel providing drones, defense systems, and intelligence. The United States backing it politically is a check on China and Islam. Recently, Donald Trump said, "We must stop Iran from getting nuclear weapons." But there's another Islamic country that already has them, and we're watching closely. He didn't name Pakistan. He didn't have to, because the world knows Pakistan is the only nuclear-armed Muslim nation. That's why it's being isolated, targeted, surrounded. One nation, one body. The Ummah stands with Pakistan. But the enemies of Pakistan have made one miscalculation. They think Pakistan is alone. But the Ummah is awakening. China is Pakistan's economic and military war. Turkey, under President Erdogan, has openly declared support for oppressed Muslims. Iran, despite sanctions, considers Pakistan a brother. Malaysia, Qatar, Central Asia, even Russia watching, waiting, calculating. If India crosses the line, if a single river is choked beyond return, this won't just be India versus Pakistan. It will become World War III, with the Muslim world on one side and oppressors on the other. A clash of civilizations is no longer fiction. It's a reality in the making. The silent storm within -220 million Indian Muslims. But there's another danger India ignores, one not from outside, but from within. Over 220 million Muslims live inside India. That's more than in Turkey, Egypt, or even Pakistan. The second largest Muslim population on earth, living under Modi's rule. Now imagine, what if they say enough? What if they rise? What if, one day, 220 million Indian Muslims leave their homes, fill the streets, raise their voices? No guns, no violence, just resistance, presence, unity. India would tremble. The system would collapse from inside. The economy would bleed. Because when oppression becomes too loud, even silence becomes revolution. Maybe this too is part of the divine plan. That Ghazwa-e-Hind is not just fought by armies from outside, but by hearts rising from within. Pakistan is not just a country. It's the shield of the Muslim world. It's the final defense. The last nuclear frontier for the Ummah. That's why it's being attacked from every side. economic warfare, psychological warfare, diplomatic isolation, media propaganda. But history tells us, every time the ammo is pushed to the edge, it unites. And when it does, victory becomes inevitable. From partition to oppression, the Kashmir struggle continues. In 1947, when India was divided into Pakistan and India, Muslims played a key role in the fight for independence. But the partition led to unimaginable horrors. Muslims were massacred, their homes destroyed, and families torn apart. One of the most horrifying acts during partition was when India sent entire trains to Pakistan, not filled with passengers, but with the butchered bodies of Muslim women and children. Many women were brutally mutilated, their bodies cut into pieces, their chests and limbs severed, sent as a message of hatred and terror. The violence was horrific and targeted Muslims in a cruel attempt to break their spirit. Amidst this bloodshed, the Kashmir issue emerged. Kashmir, a Muslim-majority region, was taken by India despite Pakistan's claim. Since then, India has oppressed the Kashmiri people with violence, killings, forced disappearances, and rapes. Kashmir remains a symbol of injustice where Muslims continue to fight for their right to live in peace and freedom. A true Muslim does not fear death because death leads to honor, to Jannah, and to a place with Allah. It is not the believer who is afraid. It is the enemy who fears the one who stands for truth. The Quran says, "If there are 20 among you who remain strong and patient, they can defeat 200. Now imagine if all Muslims stand up together, if they wake up and unite. No army in the world, no enemy, no power can stop them. The earth will shake, and the flags of truth will rise again. This is not just a dream. This is our faith. And maybe this is the time when it all begins." Dear viewers, this is no longer about water. This is about faith, identity, survival. The rivers are being choked. The people are being provoked. And prophecy is unfolding. Prepare, unite, speak, rise. Because Ghazwa-e-Hind may not be far, and the Ummah must decide, will we stay silent, or will we answer the call? Now more powerful than ever. If you felt this in your heart, don't just scroll, don't stay silent. Like this video to amplify the message. Share it so the world knows what's coming. Subscribe to our channel because this isn't the end. It's just the beginning. This war is not just for rivers, it's for truth, honor, and faith. May Allah protect Pakistan and the Muslim Ummah. Ameen.